What's up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video, and today I'm going to be talking about Planet Coaster. They had a live stream, I believe, last night, which I did miss, but I did watch the stream afterwards the next day, which is today, and they released quite a bit some new footage and some really great stuff, so I'm going to be talking about that here. The video does kind of pause in some certain spots, and that's just because it is part of their live stream, and they kind of paused it in some spots, but I'm just showing off some of the footage that really struck out to me and that I liked. So this shot right here, holy crap, right off the bat, look at that ride right there. That's amazing. And you got some of the characters walking around, and you can see how cool they are. There's a little band, animatronic band, and that drop tower is a thing of beauty. And the buildings are a thing of beauty. So I wanted to first talk about this real quick. This is kind of an animation of guests getting in the ride. Look how cool that looks. I mean, just the the restraints coming down over their heads. We don't usually get animation this good. This animation is just amazing looking, and they're doing just that attention to detail. You see that comes down over their heads, and they don't all come down at once. They're just kind of randomly, and that's just kind of really cool. So this is kind of a overhead view of this park, and you see that a little bit of this coaster, which is kind of cool. They kind of blocked it out there, but we don't get to see a whole lot of that. And I think so here's the next clip, and this is kind of them in the park explaining what's going on. So this is, I looked really hard at the interface here. You got your bottom left, you got the name of your park. Above that is manage. There's a little picture. You have also how many guests are on your park, and you got a lot of different options here. You got all your scenery, buildings, stores, and all that stuff. And you got the weather to your bottom right, and the time. You kind of see the weather. It looks like pause and play and fast forward, and just you can see it all right there. Terrain, and it's just all there. And if you look, there is also an undo and redo button. Hallelujah, an undo button. Finally, this is something that we've needed in a game like this forever, and they have it in there. So that's one thing to be thankful for. So in the top right, you can kind of see a box. They have some scenery selected. That's kind of what it looks like. As you see, we have a bulldozer tool also in the interface, and also when you have something selected. So they kind of go on about each piece right here is individually placed. And if I was right, I think they said they merged it into one big piece of scenery, kind of, if I'm correct. So as you can see, it looks like one piece of scenery, right? This whole giant statue. No, all of those are different, statues, individual pieces of scenery. As you can see, he detaches it and moves it around, so it is detached. It's its own type of scenery. It's by itself. Those little ships, probably those little platforms. Each little statue is its own thing, and they put them all together to create this really cool big statue. And in the background, you kind of see this little Kraken animatronic, and if you really look closely, you can actually see the mechanical parts of it, and it looks amazing. It looks awesome. I'm not sure if I would see that in an actual park, but I don't even care. It looks really cool. It's actually a really cool thing that I saw in that. So, but that part of it is looking absolutely amazing. So we're gonna move on here to kind of the introduction of this park that they're entering. So right off the bat, what I'm thinking right here is a flying camera feature that we can use to record stuff. Because look how smooth this is. They have to have the tools for marketing and items like this. The flying camera, where you can actually record and fly through your park like this, is amazing. They mentioned that there is an in-game screenshot feature that they said that they even use for high-res photos and stuff like that. So just look at the stalls, and I love, there's a planter in the middle of the pathway with a tree, That's something I've always wanted. And you can see they have Planet Coaster everywhere, which I'm sure we'll be able to change. But the stalls, so much detail in them. And you can see a group right there with have hats. They notice the hats. And each little stall and building have so much customization to it, it looks like. And I don't know if those are all one pieces or if they're actually piece by piece building right there. And what it kind of looks like. And you see the little sign they have for that little milkshake spot as well. So we go around this corner, and this is where I just flipped out. The coaster in the background. Look at that thing. With the catwalk, it looks so good. I have so very few things negative to say about what I've seen in this game. One of the few things is, if you notice the supporting on the roller coaster, all I see is straight supports. Now, and other things I've seen the slanted supports, and they actually had a lot of different slanted supports and stuff like that. But I don't think that's going to be an issue. I don't think that's an issue. This is pre-alpha, so keep that in mind. And look at the detail, attention to detail, just to what they have in these supports right here. All the nuts and bolts are clearly visible and stuff like that. And look at those billboards. And I believe they said something about custom pictures and your billboards or posters and stuff like that. Don't 100% quote me on that, but look at those. Those look really good, and I feel like this would be in an actual park. I mean, the grass looks great, the trees look great, like holy crap, and just everything looks great. And he also talks about the pathways, how you can make them wider, so don't worry about that. You can have wider pathways, thinner pathways, longer pathways, curved pathways. All the pathways tools are there that we need. And then they talk about lighting. You can place down just little lights, and you can change to whatever color you want for the lights. Those lights around this ride right here, those little spotlight type things, yeah, they said that's not part of the ride. That was individually placed, so when it gets dark, you can do that. And there's that coaster lift hill in the background again. It just looks so good. The catwalk looks so accurate and great. And you look at the little nuts and bolts in the supporting of the roller coaster. That is so good looking. That is amazing. And they just keep going on that this is pre-alpha. This is pre-alpha footage right here. This is not, the full game. This is the pre-alpha footage. All what we're seeing is what we're going to get most likely in the pre-alpha thing. So they actually have a release period. Look at the bushes blowing in the wind. Look how amazing they look. They look so good. And everything just looks so good in this park. And the coaster design's a little wonky in my opinion, but I think we'll see when they go by it. The coaster will actually go through that loop there, which is actually cool. And they talk about, you've noticed a little bit of the flickering. They said that's currently being worked on, and that it will look like, there's the coaster, it will actually look like an amazing reflection. That's what they're working on, is reflections and stuff in those, and they actually will look really good in the final product. So remember, pre-alpha, this is not a finished game. And there goes the coaster again, which is really cool, really amazing looking. And wow, I'm so excited for this already. So the release date for if you got the early bird edition, the early bird pass, which you paid I think $75 for, you actually get access to the pre-alpha game, and that's what we're looking at here, is the pre-alpha stuff. So you will have access to this stuff if you got the early bird pass, which I did. I did pre-order the early bird pass. Of course I have to get my hands on this game as soon as possible. Any part of it I want to play. So, and the only comment I do have on that roller coaster, I feel like it's a little over supported, and the straight supports are, not right. But again, this is pre-alpha. I've seen the supporting that they're working on, and it's just incomplete. So I'm not going to criticize that at all. So I've been criticizing it now that I think about it, but look at that drop tower. Wow, that's so cool. I'm getting off topic. But what I was talking about is they said the pre-alpha, it is going to be released this month in March. And they gave us a period of when they think that will be. they said it will be after March 16th. So it will be between March 16th and March 31st. I think there's 31st. Yeah, 31st. So in between there, that's about a 2-week period of when we're going to get this pre-alpha build of the game. We are going to get this game this month. Think about that, guys. If you guys got the early bird pass, you're going to be able to play this game this month. And they mentioned something about 6 months from now when the game's finished. So the game might not be released for another 6 months if the way they talked about it. Now, the one thing I do want to mention, I don't know anything about the how long this pre-alpha build will last, if we're going to be able to play it till release, or if it's just going to be for a weekend, or how long it's going to be. I don't think they've really announced that. If you have heard anything on that, please feel free to comment down below. Now, there's an animatronic band, which is kind of cool. I would definitely put that in like an indoor ride, like Pirates of the Caribbean ride or something like that. I don't know. But look over to your left right there. Look over where that building is. That looks like a gift shop. I don't know exactly what it was, but it looked almost like a gift shop on the inside, and that looked great. And this shot of this Ferris wheel type ride, a very unique Ferris wheel, looks amazing. And we get a glimpse of that exit gate over there, and I'm not a big fan of how the exit gate looks. You know, I kind of like the traditional type looking gate, and that's my opinion. But again, very few negative things I have to say anything about this. And it's probably stuff that we'll be able to change and stuff. And all the scenery they talked about was individually placed, and there's just so much you can do with it. And they did mention about something they did mention was about user-generated content. User-generated content will not be available at launch, the way they were talking, the way they said. They said they are keeping it in mind, and they hope to possibly have that in post-launch. This is a little bit disappointing, but in a way, they talk about how you're going to have the tools, you know, to create anything you want. So I'm not completely worried about it, because I know they know what they're talking about, and this game's in good hands. Frontier knows what they're doing. And, you know, if they get user-generated content in there in post-launch, you know, that's great. As long as it's a free update, I think. You know, the base game looks like it's going to be loaded with content and stuff to do. So, I highly recommend to pre-order this game. If you want to absolutely play it before anyone else, play it as soon as possible. You still have a chance to get that early bird pass. Go to planetcoaster.com and get yourself that early bird pass. It's $74.99 US dollars. So, that's about, you know, it's a $75 game, you know, and the regular game itself costs, I think, $30, which is actually very cheap for a game like this. I think it's very underpriced, and that we should be very grateful for that. So, that's about the main information I want to give out to this. Link in the description if you want to watch the full stream yourself. There's a lot more information I did not get in this video that they talk about, so they just talk about so much stuff. It's about an hour long stream that they had. So link in the description for the stream if you would like to watch it, and go watch it. I watched it because I was amazed of how good it was looking. So hope you guys did enjoy the video. Like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment in the comment section of what you think about Planet Coaster. Do you like Planet Coaster? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think the lack of user-generated content at launch is going to hurt it or not? But I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It looks like we're going to be able to do whatever we want. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow. Goodbye.